So joining me here now on Tipp TV ahead of this Sunday afternoon's games is the County CCC Secretary Tom Maher. Thanks for joining us again here, Tom, after a great day's entertainment yesterday. So we'll start maybe with the Senior Hurling Championship, and we'll just maybe briefly look at a game that's ongoing at the moment as we speak. That's between Clonolty Rossmore and Killerwan McDonough's in Templetooey, and the latest we have on that is that Killerwan are ahead. So Tom, if that was to stay the way it is and Killerwan were to win that game, what way would that group work out then?
Well, to be simple, that Killerwan, if they win, they'll be on 4 points, so that means that they'll top the group and go through. It would leave Nina Rogue and Clonolty Rossmore level on 3 points each. The first protocol then in dividing them would be the head-to-head, and in that instance, actually the game ended in a draw, so that rules out the head-to-head. So it goes to score difference. And as I'm talking to you now, Nina are ahead of Clonolty Rossmore by a point. So I would presume if Clonolty lose the match, they will drop from the 3 scoring points that they are now to maybe 2-1. It depends on what they lose by. So really and truly, it will mean that Nina Rogue will go through, and Clonolty Rossmore then will go through to the preliminary quarter-final based on their win in the West Senior Hurling Final.
That's lovely. So we'll move on then, Tom, to the game that's taking place here at 2 o'clock in FBD Simple Stadium between Drummond and Borrisoleigh, and also at the same time in Dolla we have Thurles Sarsfields and Templederry. This is of course in Group 2. At the moment Drummond have 4 points, Thurles Sarsfields have 2 and Borrisoleigh have 2, so it's still interesting, that group.
It is, yeah, and I suppose really the teams have it in their own hands here to how they get through. Drummond are playing Borrisoleigh, as you say here. Drummond are top of the table with 4 points. Even a draw or a win will absolutely assure them of top place in the group. Thurles Sarsfields are playing Templederry Keenans. They are on 2 points and they're matching Borrisoleigh, who are also on 2 points. So if Templederry were to win that game and Borrisoleigh were to lose their game against Drummond, should mean that the 3 teams would be on 2 points each, and you'd be going to scoring difference. Now at the minute Templederry Keenans are a nice bit behind in the scoring difference, so they would have to beat Thurles Sarsfields by a good score, maybe up to in the region of maybe 8 points or more to sort of have a chance of going through. So really and truly, as you look at it now, it looks like Drummond to get through, with Thurles Sarsfields and Borrisoleigh having it in their own hands to see who'll make it from that 2 teams.
Okay, Tom, and we move on then to Group 4, and this is a very interesting group really, because you have Killerdangan on 3 points, JK Brackens on 2, Lockmore Castliney on 2, and Éire Óg Anacarty on 1. So those games take place at 3:45, Lockmore versus Anacarty in Holy Cross, and JK Brackens versus Killerdangan here in the stadium. So that's really interesting, Tom.
It's easy, you have a lot of draws in that. I'm just looking at the list here in front of me, and both JK Brackens and Lockmore Castliney had 2 draws, and Killerdangan and Éire Óg Anacarty had 1 draw each. So that's bringing the teams an awful lot closer together. Killerdangan are in pole position at the minute. They have 3 points from their games, but of course if JK Brackens was to defeat Killerdangan, they would move ahead of them on 5 points, and also if Lockmore Castliney was to beat Éire Óg Anacarty, they would also move ahead of Killerdangan. So while Killerdangan are topping the table at the minute, they could actually end up in 3rd place if results went in certain ways, and of course 3rd place for Killerdangan would actually knock them out because they wouldn't have the North win under their belt. So this is a really, this group could go anyway really, and every result is very important here, Jonathan, so it's very, very hard to call how this will go.
Exactly, Tom, it is indeed, and it looks like it's going to be some interesting games, and a lot of people looking at those games as the afternoon progresses. So Tom, we'll just briefly look forward into the Intermediate Hurling Championship, and at 2 o'clock then in Group 2 we have Skahina Rinky versus Ballynahinch in Holy Cross, and then also at the same time in Newport we have Knockavilla Donaghskee Kickham's versus Borris O'Kane, and at the moment I suppose Skahina Rinky are in pole position. They have 4 points. Knockavilla Donaghskee Kickham's have 2, Ballynahinch have 2, and Borris O'Kane have 2. Borris O'Kane have no score, no points.
Yeah, and you have to compliment Skahina Rinky here. They only came up from junior last year, had a good run in the provincial competition, and they have won both our matches. So you really have to compliment them on the way they've taken on the intermediate. But today they play Ballynahinch. Ballynahinch maybe not going as well as Ballynahinch would in the last previous couple of years. But Ballynahinch are still a good team, and Ballynahinch are capable of causing a victory there today, which would give them a chance of getting through. Knockavilla are playing Borrisokane. On the forum, you'd expect Knockavilla would win it because Borrisokane just seems to be going through a bad patch, but still Borrisokane have the players to win it. So again, it's a group that even at this stage, Jonathan, is really, really hard to call, because a team who you would think might be qualified at this stage in Skihina Rinka could end up maybe not qualifying. So again, we have to wait until the results are through to see exactly how it pans out.
Okay, Tom, and we move then on to Group 3, and in this group we have Drummond-Inch versus Kilsheal and Kilcash, and Arravale Rovers versus Shannon Rovers. And again, Drummond-Inch 4 points, Kilsheal and Kilcash have 3, Shannon Rovers have 1, and Arravale Rovers have 0. But again, this actually group is still very, very interesting, and it's not by any means decided who's going to go in what direction at this point.
Yeah, I suppose if you look at Kilsheal and Kilcash, they probably have a little bit of an advantage in the sense that they won this out. So even if they don't happen to get through, they have the preliminary quarterfinal. No one wants to use that really to get through, because it has its own pitfalls. But it'll be very interesting to see how that will go, how they'll go. Drummond-Inch really kind of a draw will get them through, so they have it in their own hands really to qualify later on today. But it's easier said than done. Arravale Rovers really are out of it. They'll probably be fighting there maybe just to get out of the relegation zone, I suppose, and to a certain extent Shannon Rovers are in the position where they may qualify, but they could also find themselves in relegation, so that's a tough one there. So again, like some of the other groups, really hard to call again, and the things that can happen in that group, you really have to wait till the results are through to get the final positions.
And then we move on to Group 4, and in this group now we have 2 games. One of them has been played at this stage. That was the game between Boherlahan Douala and Lara Dara, which took place at 12 o'clock in Douala, and that resulted in a 2-18 to 1-18 victory for Lara Dara. So that puts Lara up into 8 points. Golden Kilfeacle have 2, Boherlahan Douala have 2, and Carrick-Davins have 2, but still there's still a lot to play for in this game this evening between Golden Kilfeacle and Carrick-Davins, which takes place in Clonmel at 6 o'clock.
Yeah, it is indeed. Yeah, Lara Dara are through at this stage, and they've topped the group. Really, they can't be caught for topping the group. So really, the Golden Kilfeacle and Carrick-Davins match really is to see who will come second. Now, funny enough, Carrick-Davins, who haven't won a match up to now, if they win this evening, they'll join Golden and Boherlahan on equal points. So you're coming down to score difference in that sense. Now Carrick-Davins are behind a little bit on score difference. At this minute Boherlahan have the advantage on score difference, but I suppose really and truly the favourite way out of it from Golden's point of view is just go out and win the match, and if they do, then that settles it for them. But Carrick-Davins, I'm sure, will be putting up one hell of a battle here. They won't want to be in relegation, and as I said, they still have an outside chance. I will agree, score difference is outside, but they still have an outside chance of making the knockout stages.
That's great, Tom. Well, look at a lot to look forward to over the next couple of hours, and we will keep everybody up to date as best as we can through our social media and our Twitter channel, and also we have 2 great games live here on Tipp GA TV this afternoon. We have the game coming up here at 2 o'clock, Borrisokane versus Drummond-Inch, and then following that will be at 3:45 JK Brackens versus Killadangan. So thanks once again, Tom, and we look forward to a good game and a good afternoon's entertainment.